Digital security, swift response, smart progression. Welcome to Qingqiao Safety Investigation. During a 4-day summit in St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda, small island developing countries convened to address the pressing issue of climate change. Summit chairman and Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Brown criticized wealthy nations for shirking their responsibility to curb carbon emissions, exacerbating environmental degradation and perpetuating climate threats faced by low-emission island nations. He emphasized that mere pledges under the Paris Agreement are insufficient. Concrete actions to limit carbon emissions are imperative. Small island developing countries, defined by the UN since June 1992, encompass 39 nations with minimal land area, population, and GDP, collectively constituting less than 1% of global metrics. These nations confront unique challenges in sustainable development, exacerbated by industrialization-induced climate change, including extreme weather events and rising sea levels. Small island developing countries, despite their minimal industrial development and negligible carbon emissions, bear the brunt of global warming's impacts. With small islands and extensive coastlines, rising sea levels pose existential threats. These nations lack adequate funds and resilience to withstand disasters, making them highly vulnerable to extreme weather events exacerbated by climate change. Data reveals that from 1970 to 2020, small island developing states incurred $153 billion in losses due to extreme weather. During the summit, Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Brown highlighted a concerning trend. While wealthy nations have pledged over $10.6 billion to aid poorer countries in climate crisis mitigation, they often impose restrictive conditions, such as hiring specific contractors or repaying loans at market rates. This effectively diverts funds back to the richer nations. Brown called for increased global climate finance, advocating for measures like a universal carbon tax on oil companies, the cessation of fossil fuel subsidies, and an expedited shift to renewable energy. He urged affluent nations to honor their commitment to provide $100 billion annually to assist poorer countries in reducing carbon emissions and addressing extreme weather impacts. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change has long prioritized small island developing countries. Emphasizing the unique challenges they face, authorities stress the importance of global recognition and collective responsibility in addressing climate change and reducing carbon emissions. Efforts to promote fairness and effectiveness in global climate governance include providing enhanced support and assistance to these nations in finance, technology, and capacity building. Initiatives like the Migrant Asylum Treaty, launched by the governments of Australia and Tuvalu, serve as exemplary models for climate and security collaboration on a global scale. Tune in at 6 a.m. from Monday to Friday for Qingqiao Safety Investigation for your daily safety updates.